everyone. I'm Sanchita Mandal. I'm a PhD researcher working in Tata Institute of Social Science in Mumbai, India. But right now I'm in Australia as a visiting scholar in University of Melbourne. And so first of all, good morning, evening, night, wherever the place you are. So today, I'm very honored to be here as a key speaker to discuss a crucial issue in our digital world, which is the digital safety and algorithmic bias and its impact on youth. The ubiquity of the algorithms in digital platforms has significantly influenced the online experiences of the children and adolescents as well. So, in this talk, I'll be more focusing about the youth. Uh, so, while designed to optimize user interactions, algorithmic algorithms often repute biases that expose youth to harmful stereotypes, reinforces echo chambers, or limits access to the diverse perspectives and opportunities. So, such algorithmic bias pose critical challenges to design uh, n- uh, to digital safety by the shape content, recommendations, and also social interactions and targeted advertising, thereby impacting youth users' perceptions, behavior, as well as the mental health well-being. Uh, this presentation, I'll explore how AI-driven bias impacts youth, the dangers it poses, and how we as a parent, as an educator, or policymaker can work together to foster safe digital ecosystem. So, as in the last presentation, you people already get to know, and you have in details shared about the thing that how digital safety regarding the digital safety and other what are the concerns is there. So I'll not talk much about what is digital safety, but in general, it basically includes the awareness of how personal data is used and ensuring a safe digital environment for all the users, especially I can say you as a person. And digital safety refers to the responsible use of technology. It's not only responsible, but it's also about the ethical and safe use of the technology to protect individuals from online risks, including privacy, cyberbullying, and exposure to the harmful content. So, this algorithmic bias, as we mostly are belongs from this area, but still, I would like to speak little bit about focusing little bit about this algorithmic bias to understanding how this AI works and algorithmic bias happens. So now let's break it down like AI. We hear this term everywhere nowadays. And so, what does it really do with us? So, if you imagine AI as a smart assistant that learn from vast amount of data or things we post or we search for or interact in the online spaces. So these AI models are trained on the past human decisions and also this is trained by the historical record. So what we have previously selected. So he records everything or the digital interaction, how we are interacting with the digital platforms. using AI. So, which basically means they inherit all the good and bad that come with it. So, uh, this is the thing. How does bias creep? So, there are three main ways which I'm focusing in my presentation. First one is like uh, if like data bias. So, like if AI is trained on a one-sided or flawed data, it absorbs those errors and fear perspectives. Second one is like the algorithmic design. So, algorithmic designs how it affects. If a programmer unintentionally favors certain data over others, the AI system may lean towards one group and ignore the other one. So, which is very interesting if you read more about this. And the third one, which I'll talk about, is the user interaction related bias. So, AI adopts based on our engagement. If we tend to click more on the biased content, the system thinks that what we should be shown more often. So, for example, if you can see, like, if you are looking a similar kind of like if you are using social media and seeing content related to a specific zone, this kind of content is continuously coming. So, these algorithmic biases affect the youth safety as well. Youth today actually interacts with AI driven system every day, more or less. If you see the use of youth, social media use, digital device use, so that we are seeing in every part of the world, maybe little bit higher or less, but we are seeing that they are using social media, online learning platforms. They are using for the job applications and for their entertainment as well. This system impact their safety in multiple ways, like the privacy concern and the data exploration. Like many AI systems collect vast amount of personal data, often without a clear consent. This data can be used to manipulate young users or maybe the target them with the inappropriate content or even make them vulnerable to scams and cyber threats. For example, if I have to say, so like personalized advertising can target youth user with predatory marketing, influence their purchasing decisions in a way that they do not fully understand what is they are doing and how they are influenced by. And next is just mental health related risk. So AI driven algorithm push content designed to increase the engagement, sometimes at the cost of their mental well-being as well. So youth may be exposed to harmful content or unrealistic beauty standards in certain cases, because in this stage, especially some of the studies also showing that they are more interested about the beauty hacking kind of things and others. So this unrealistic beauty standards which they thought of, which are coming from their exploration of the digital devices, and cyberbullying, which is a like crucial part, and so many organizations and different countries working in a different way to control this, and also can lead to their anxiety, depressions, and self-esteem issue. Especially with the adult, this self-esteem issue is coming out mostly, which is also affecting. So, for example, TikTok is a social media platform we know, or maybe the Instagram. So there they got the recommendations algorithms have been found to repeatedly push harmful dieting content to the youth user and exhibiting body image issues, which is nowadays in a trend to look into. And next, I'll talk about the online information. So, AI powered recommendation system can push extremist view or misinformation to the young user, shaping their opinions without them realizing it. This is particularly dangerous when it comes to religious or political or social issues where biased AI driven content can be mislead them. For example, we see that like a study recently found that YouTube algorithms tend to recommend increasingly extreme content, leading young users down residualization of rabbit holes. So exclusion from the opportunities, like also we can see among the youth by using this algorithmic bias, which is like when AI is increasingly used in the school admissions or job opening and the scholarship. If this system has embedded bias, they can unfairly disadvantage students biased on race, their gender, or socioeconomic background. Like AI hiring tools have been found to reject applications from underrepresented backgrounds due to the biased historical hiring data. So, these are the concerns we are seeing in general, but there are much more to look into. But see, we all knew that these are the concern is coming. But how like we as a parent or we as a like school or educator can do? So integrating in the school spaces, like integrating the digital literacy program or digital citizenship related programs that teach students how AI works and how to critically evaluate online information. Advocate for fair and unbiased AI tool in the school related applications like admissions and grading system, and also to ensure AI powered educational platforms are inclusive and as well as accessible to all students, including those with disabilities, and in respect to their caste, creed, culture, everyone. And work with the policy maker as well, that school can participate with the policy to ensure that algorithmic fairness in the digital education tool, which is also mostly important because if all the students are getting this kind of things as well, but how to use, what are the regulations we should follow, that is also a matter of thing we should look into. And if as a parent, if I have a child in my home, so what we can do to uh, with the child to talk to the children, I think, about the online safety and responsible AI use. They like also to monitor their digital habits, how they are using, what they are using, their habits, and educate them how AI driven platforms may be shaping what they see and believe. Not everything they are seeing is true or correct, or everything they are seeing is not appropriate. So that should be like age specific. They we as a parent can speak to them. Or I also think like if you're speaking, like if you say someone you don't do this, maybe in this stage we as a youth we are more interesting. If parents are saying you don't do that, like they are more interested to doing that as well. So if we have to see it, we have to make a report with the parents and also tell them about how the story kind of or as a situation based what not to do, and if they are getting through as well to speak to the parents and how they can like control the thing. So that is also I think is more important in a story form. If we can teach our child regarding this, that is also good source of doing. And I also feel like use parental controls and safe filters to protect young children from the harmful content as a parent we can do, because these options are very open to us. And also encourage open conversations, which I'm trying to say, like or if like about the online experiences as a parent also what we are facing, or as a child also what they are facing, so we can start the conversation from that side. So open conversation I think also is very helpful to the youth navigate the digital space safely. But as an individual perspective or as a societal perspective, like we can push for the AI transparency law that require companies to disclose how their algorithm works, because in some of the cases we see that companies are not clearly mentioning what is disclosing how they are using these algorithms or how about their data. So that is also thing. And support the ethical AI development by demanding diverse and inclusive data sets that do not reinforce harmful stereotypes, and also to promote research and discussions on how AI impacts youth safety and advocate for the safer digital space. So, how can we address this kind of issues? So, tech companies must be open about how their systems are trained and undergo regular independent audits to check for biases, which is, uh, I think that will be very useful if this kind of audits and the regulation is very clear from the company. For example, like platforms like Twitter or Facebook have been urged to open their algorithms to scrutiny to address misinformation and biases. And AI models must be trained with diverse data sets that basically reflects different backgrounds, cultures, and as well as the perfect perspective. And developers should collaborate with ethicists so that the ethical things should be maintained within that, and educators and sociologists to ensure that AI is a fair and unbiased. Like AI used in medical diagnosis has shown a racial bias due to the limited data set, and diversifying training data can address these kind of issues. So that is why I think that developers should work with different kind of people while developing this kind of tools. And also we need to teach young people about how critically they can evaluate the digital content and how responsibly to use the technology. So schools should introduce digital literacy program to help students recognize AI bias and misinformation. Like we are aware that Finland has incorporated AI literacy into its school curriculum to teach students how algorithms shape the digital experiences. Some of the other country as well also has has a curriculum on digital citizenship or using AI into their computer science book as well. And some of the government initiative or other organization who also work with regarding different intervention awareness all over the world. And also government must enforce policies that prevent AI from the discrimination against the marginalized group, because lack of data uh, getting different kind of biases. So like if this kind of group also included, it will be more clear regulation on AI education and law enforcement to ensure the fairness. For example, in EU, AI Act aim to regulate high-risk AI application, taking a precedent for global AI governance. And parents and teachers should guide youth on responsible AI use and help them to question about algorithm-driven discussion, and host and also school should host workshop and discussions on AI ethics and its real world impact. So like in between this discussion, like we can say that, or we can promise to ourselves as that algorithm bias is not just a technical issue, it's a societal issue that we that shapes perspective, opportunities, and mental well-being. So AI has the potential to do great things, but we must use it in a responsible way to ensure the fairness and inclusivity. By raising awareness and demanding transparency and promoting ethical AI, we can create a safe and more equitable digital spaces for the next generation. I invite educators, technologists, policymakers, social workers to work collaboratively in addressing algorithmic bias and safeguarding the digital well-being for our youth. So, we together can say that let's work together to create a equitable and inclusive digital space. Can we do that? Give a thumbs up. Yes, we will do that. So, and we also ensure that whatever technology and higher level of machine learning models or other models will come in our next generations, but how we are using, that's matter, because we are human beings, we are creating this AI, not AI is creating us. So as a human, we should have the agency how we use this technology. Thank you so much. If you want to connect with me, this is my mail ID. Anytime you can write to me. And do you have any kind of suggestions, or do you face any kind of safety or algorithmic bias related thing after this conversation you are feeling? Please do share with me. I'll be happy to listen to all these things. Thank you so much.
Sanchita, thank you so much for the presentation. Can I ask you a question? Because this is the global aspect and what you mentioned about the bias coming from missing data, right? I mean, you said you're in India, you're from India and you're in Australia. So, I mean, how do you think is the good way to try to fix that missing data, especially in the different cultures? Do you have some ideas based on your experience?
So there are some of the frameworks in algorithmic bias. As a technician, like as a developer, or as yeah, when specifically when we are developing this kind of thing for giving them the training, so that time we can be more careful about that. And also the data is used or taken while they are developing. So that there in a initial stage, if you can like control this thing, so in the later stage it will be preventable, I think. So this is the way technically we can do that. And also like, yeah, training to the AI model is very important as well. And also like if you see the studies also, like the technology used among the different group or culture is varies a lot. So the use of technology, that's also a matter. So I think if you can incorporate it all these things, so inclusively we can get out from this issue.
Okay, thank you so much. If there's a question from Michelle. She's asking if anyone has had experience with schools on getting them to stop sharing data on students by, giving them this information. Do you have any experience with that?
No, I have not worked in school, but yes, we as a like as I mentioning like two times in my conversation that we should teach our students in the school perspective as well, like where to share data, whom to share data, and how like the literacy regarding thing or citizenship related curriculum kind of thing. So if they are aware about the things, like which one is safe or which one is not safe, like the moral perspective or the ethical perspective, if students are clear, that will be more useful for them to understand and realize. Because every time in a certain age of the student, they are also not very feel okay to share everything with the parents or everything with the peers as well. So I think if they are individually is very much literate about this thing, that will help them to not to be into that trap. So yeah, I would like to say that this is a great initiative, and how you people are working for a long time to organize this thing, and very seriously like taking the everything from speakers, and also organizing in a way so that we also having not the time issue and other things. So it's really appreciable, and I really appreciate and thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.